One of the biggest misconceptions in the creative industry is that the best graphic designer automatically ends up becoming the creative director. And that could not be any farther from the truth. Now, can the best graphic designer become a creative director? Yes, they can. Absolutely, yes. But let's be real. Those are two completely different roles. The best designer in the room is usually thinking about execution. How can we make this logo look better? How can we make this layout be a little bit smoother, a little bit cleaner? How can we make these colors come together and work together a little bit better? But a creative director is asking a completely different set of questions. They're asking, what goals does this campaign solve? Out the gate, we're already thinking completely differently. Is this the right photographer for this shoot? Does the copy match the visuals and the idea that we're trying to portray? Does this campaign feel like us? And the creative director is not responsible for every single thing. They're mainly responsible for if every single thing fits what they're trying to do. And if we're gonna be Frank Ocean, a lot of times the creative director is not the best graphic designer. And this applies for like any industry. Sometimes they're not the best fashion designer. Sometimes they're not the best photographer. You can be a creative director of so many different fields, but the creative director is usually the person with the best judgment, and they're also really good at letting people know that. They're able to look at 10 different ideas for the brand and figure out which ones are the right ones and which ones are the absolute no's. That's why sometimes being a creative director can be disorienting, because one day you get promoted to this role and now your job is making sure that everyone else's work looks good versus you making your own work look good. So to the graphic designer out there that's like, hey, I want to be a creative director, your path might not be to just get super fantastically amazing at graphic design. You should start becoming a better decision maker, because the higher you move in creative leadership, the less your value comes from what you can actually make, and the more it comes from what you can see before everyone else does.